Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where we're at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar with our latest top 10 ranking of our Rate the Regulars. And we're going to be drinking something special from Heaven's Door. My name is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Darren McCroy and Jim Fosnot. What's going on, guys?
How we doing, Steve?
Good, good.
Damn it! I was hyping myself up. I was in the zone, and still.
Why can't you just say hi?
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. It's a
Hi,
pretty
every
simple
time.
thing. Yeah,
Every time.
pretty simple thing.
But now it's become a thing, and so
People expect it.
yeah.
Yeah, people expect it. So there you go. So we are going to be rating the regulars. It's a popular segment, particularly with the regulars. They want to see where they fall. We have in front of us our list of top 20. We'll share that after the break. And we will be tasting something special from Heaven's Door. We'll talk about that also in just a minute. But before we get to that, Darren, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that?
So I saw this dumb internet video the other day, and it's this lady that goes hiking with her ferret. So she has a ferret, she keeps it on a leash, and walks like she's like a backpacker, like a legit hiker, and takes this ferret everywhere and has like a knapsack for the ferret. So what would be the strangest animal that you'd be okay with having as a pet? If you were going really weird.
I mean, I had pet raccoons for a while.
Would you do it again?
No, my ex-wife was like Ellie Mae Clampett. Animals just flocked to her, and it was a situation where we had a nest with raccoons outside of our window, and she's like, "Go catch one of the babes." Like, no, the mother will tear me apart if I climb that tree. And she goes, "Well, if one falls out of the tree, can I keep it?" I'm like, "Sure. If one falls out of the tree, keep it." Well, the next day, the mother's in a dumpster foraging for food, and I watch as a trash truck comes and picks it up with the mother in it. And 2 days later, I got 4 baby raccoons on my back porch. And she's like, "You said I could keep them." So that's how I ended up with 2 raccoons, gave 2 to the wildlife center.
Huh. Yeah. What about you, Darren?
I think I would totally keep a pet, like nurse shark, if I had the room.
It's hard to put that on a leash and take it for a hike.
Yeah, I know, that would be the problem, but maybe we can go for a swim on a leash.
I don't
Swim
really
on a
consider
leash.
fish as pets. Like, I don't know. Something to like.
But I think it'd be cool to have a nurse shark. I don't want like a real shark. I want a nurse shark.
A
Just
nurse
because-
shark. Okay.
Yeah. They can get really big and
Legally, if you had, of course, it would cost a fortune. You're talking about a huge aquarium and stuff like that. Legally, could a private person just have that? Do you have to get some special licensing in Missouri?
I don't know Missouri. In Florida,
Well, we live in Missouri. We're not in Florida.
Well,
The
but they
Florida
can't-
rules
they
don't
can't-
apply here.
Well, they couldn't live if you released them here, so I would imagine you could keep them here
Yeah.
as well.
Uh-huh.
Because there's certain things you can't have in certain states, like piranhas and that, because if you release them into nature, they can survive.
And that's relatively new. When I was a kid, it was not uncommon to go and see piranhas at the pet store.
Yes.
I mean, that's not the case anymore, but yes, you used to be able to go buy those.
I walked into a liquor store in Illinois, and it was like a hole-in-the-wall liquor store, and I turned a corner, and there was a tank full of piranhas. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to have those. Like, I don't think that's a thing that's legal for you to have.
They are still legal in several states. Because we had this conversation a couple months ago, and I looked it up. I can't remember, but
Huh,
I feel like
interesting.
Illinois
Interesting.
With how
So,
Illinois is.
so if this happens, and you could get the nurse shark, and again, I don't know. I would assume that minimum tank requirements would be huge. But if you could do it, and it was legal, you would try to do it.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have a nurse shark. The good thing about nurse sharks is you could have a bunch of fish above them because they're like
They're on the bottom, right?
Yeah, and they're gonna not eat other fish as much if you keep them well fed. So you could have a shark and a bunch of other fish.
Okay.
I used to love like the show Tanked and stuff where they build all these crazy fish tanks and.
I mean, I worked for Clearwater Marine Science Center. We
Yeah.
we had tanks with nurse sharks and all kinds of stuff in there. So it's definitely something that's not terribly hard to keep.
Yeah. I just think it'd be fun.
It'd be fun. Okay, we'll have to look into that. We'll look into that. See what.
Maybe in the speakeasy, put a big
Yeah,
aquarium in.
a big
have
aquarium
Darren's
with
nurse
Darren's
shark.
nurse shark. Yeah, I'm past the point where I want pets. I don't want any pets. But if I got to play the game. You asked the question. If I had to get a weird pet these days, for me, a weird pet would be like a big tortoise. That was one thing that I always wanted and never got. Not just like a box turtle or something like that. I'm talking about one of those big giant tortoises. And I always thought, I got a good place. I could keep them in the basement. I could set up some stations where they could, get the warmth that they need, some light bulbs and stuff like that. Food is pretty easy. Turtles, tortoises, they're pretty easy to take care of, really. I mean, they do their own thing, and you could go away for a weekend, no problem. It's not like a dog or something like that.
Isn't it one of the neaters who keeps all the different turtles?
Right.
Yeah.
Ryan or Evan.
Evan
has a bunch of turtles.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of turtles. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you had a weird pet. It wasn't really a pet, like a best friend during COVID. Your duck.
The duck, yeah. Well, that was the ideal. I would still have a pet like that today because he doesn't stay in the house or anything. And yeah, he'd come up he had a routine. I'd see him, during the day, and then he would leave, be gone. Whatever he did during the afternoon, he'd come up in the evening right before bedtime. We had a pool, a little kiddie pool out front. He'd take a bath, and then he'd leave and go to bed.
Steve would have a drink with him every morning.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was a thing for a while.
Yeah. So it was definitely a thing. So that was fun. Red Robin.
In college, I kept we'd go to Orchlands or something, and they would have ducks, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy a duck, and I'm gonna name him Fuck. That was my whole plan.
Fuck the duck. Fuck the duck. Okay.
I never did it, but there was so many times that I was so close. It was like, today's the day for Fuck.
We had a baby alligator for about a half a minute in college because I lived in Florida, so
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
it didn't last long. They think they're not very fun to keep.
Yeah.
They just want to bite you constantly.
Yeah.
You're not petting your alligator.
I assume that's another one that they banned now because
it was
well,
illegal.
not alligator. I'm not talking about that. I assume that you can't have caimans anymore in Missouri. The same thing. You used to be able to see those at the pet store, and I wanted one of those so damn bad.
Yeah.
My mom and dad wouldn't let me get one. Man, I wanted one of those things when I was a kid.
I remember that too.
God damn, they wouldn't let me have it. So now I guess you can't even. I don't see them anymore.
As I said, I've not
Probably a
seen
thing.
one.
Yeah, I do see that there's like this exotic pet shop. Maybe I need to stumble in there just to see what's considered exotic these
anymore,
days.
yeah.
What can you have? Like I said, when Jim and I were young, pretty much anything just about went, I guess. But no,
The one
love my
by
rules.
the Ace Hardware that you always go to?
The Ace Hardware,
Yeah.
the Central Hardware.
Or wherever. I don't know. You always go over there for barbecue sauces.
Oh, that's like a exotic.
Well, there's one like right across from it
Oh.
somewhere. But I went in there. They have a bunch of different types of snakes and a couple turtles, but nothing.
Okay.
No caimans.
I was talking about the one I saw was on Broadway. So I was on Broadway, and I thought, well, and that's an area where it seemed like you just sketchy enough.
Yep.
If you're from St. Louis, that anything might go there. I might still be able to get the caiman there.
Yeah.
Across the river right there, you find exotic dancers. So
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, guess what? It's time to drink. Darren, what are we drinking here? What can you tell us about this special offering from our friends at Heaven's Door?
We have Heaven's Door Ascension. It is a blend of less than 10 barrels of 6-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon at 92 proof.
92 proof. Okay.
It has a really cool card-themed embossed logo on the front of all of their bottles.
Yep.
It's actually on the bottle, too.
This is like a media sample thing. Is it embossed like that on the bottle where you can actually feel it, or is it printed on the bottle?
It might be.
Screen graphed,
I don't know. I haven't touched the bottle. I looked online, and this picture was on the bottle. So
Jim was saying he'd like to know more about it. I would too. It's kind of got a steampunk look to it, with also kind of, there's it's gambling. It's got a spade on there. It's got dice
tools.
on there. Some tools. It's got a bison. It's got looks like a hand of cards, like a poker cards, and there's an ace on top. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's non-chill filtered also.
Non-chill filtered.
Kosher
92
certified.
Proof, kosher certified. I wonder if like Dylan does this. He's an interesting guy, and I wonder if he does something like that. I don't know if he's actively involved in the design like that. So I don't know. Let's give this one a taste and see what we got here. Cheers.
Cheers.
I mean, that's really nice. It's pleasant. For 92 proof, there's some spice to it, man. Yeah, it sticks with you. It's
lingering.
It's still kind of lingering, kind of intensifying.
It's
That's
got a
good.
great mouthfeel for 92 proof.
So you've seen this on the shelf, Darren? What?
No, I saw it on the website.
Okay.
And
I wonder what a bottle of this goes for. That we don't know. Oh, he does know.
Pause for station identification.
He's looking it up.
$54.99.
Oh God, yeah, that's a deal.
worth that.
It's definitely worth $54.99.
It's
So you see
really
that
a
out there?
complex whiskey for that
Yeah,
price. And
it is. It's nice, and it's got some nice oomph to it. So I like that a lot. So Heaven's Door's doing some good things. They're definitely one to watch out for, particularly as they get that distillery open to the public and stuff like that. That's going to be a destination, I feel. So good things for them. All right, what we're going to do next, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be sharing our top 20, and we're going to whittle that down to the top 10. Rate the regulars. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. Practice session. Here we go.
What?
Just say it. It's recording. You don't have to press anything. Don't press
touch
it.
Can I
reading
get
anything.
the
Just
words?
Go ahead.
Can I get the words?
No. It's,
Welcome to the Earth Daily. Today we are talking about what we are going to talk about on the Bourbon Daily.
nailed it. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Steve, Darren, and Jim. We're here at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar where we are rating the regulars. So here are the potential people. So again, these are the 20 that we felt were deserving of perhaps cracking the top 10 this month. Spencer Rice, Evan Neaters, Kristen Wall, The Hatches, Evan Van Scoik, Cop Brennan, Kyle Neely, The Monicas, Bob Miramonte, Clayton Seebacher, Cop Chris, Dave Probst, Mike Steinkamp, Josh Dale, Kathy Kuhl, Cop Ken, James Kelly and Clint Lee, Tim Swyatt, Mike Folk, and Nate Stelmach. That is our top 20. Again, we put some of them that are so affiliated with two people, and sometimes it can just be friends, sometimes it can be husband and wife duo like the Hatches. James Kelly and Clint Lee, just a couple of buddies that come in. They drive a long way to get here. So they typically have to plan that out. So they usually drive up together, which is pretty cool. So they're down in, past Cape Girardeau, down Highway 55, and like Dexter, Missouri. I know one of them lives in. I don't know where the other one lives in.
They're both boot heel.
Yeah, they're down there. So very cool. Any ideas for number one?
I think number one's tough this month.
I'd like to pitch a number one. This person has never cracked the top 10 before, isn't often cracked the top 20, but has really stepped up their game. Clayton Seebacher. I think he could easily be number one. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I think all of our other, previous number ones and our top 5 last month have all had, either vacations or stuff going on here. Clayton has really stepped it up. He's, been here, most Thursdays now coming in.
Yeah. Hung out with me 4 hours on Sunday this week.
Yeah.
Just sat here and talked.
Went and did a pick with him this month as well.
And he's just a good guy. Yeah. So yes. So all right, he's made the list. Number one, he's going to be excited about that. So all right. Anybody else? Number two.
I don't think we can drop Spencer farther than 2
this
week. This was the month that he brought us in those bourbon sauce pizzas, and the bourbon sauce pizzas. They're fantastic.
He kind of is what this is all about. He brings us joy when he comes in. So yes, we will put down Spencer Rice, a solid number two. Number two. All right, number three. What do you guys think for number three?
Man, I'm gonna throw out there the Modicas.
Okay.
They're at every event that we have. They're always fun, good time.
Yeah.
And
they bring a lot of new people in too, which is kind of cool. They just had some new friends, and they brought in other friends and stuff like that. So they're helping spread the word, which is important. So I like that. I think that's cool. All right, I'd like to continue the shakeup here at number 4, Bob Miramonte. He comes in a lot. He's committed to the place. He stopped in several times to try to bring you in some samples. And
I wasn't here any of the times.
Yeah.
I got to sample them in your absence, so thank you.
Yeah. So Bob Miramonte.
And then when he did finally catch up with me, that was a really good sample. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we have a huge shakeup so far.
Yeah. It is crazy. Crazy.
The only one who's still in the top 5.
All right. What about some of our power brokers from previous times? Evan Nieters, Kristen Wall, Evan Van Scoik, the Hatches. Any of those feel number 5?
I would throw Evan Van Scoik a bone.
Okay.
But he obviously he's here every week. Comes in. Always a good time. He's always entertaining. He also helps do stuff in the shop with different events and that.
That's true. That's definitely, there's something there for sure. Evan Nieters, do we feel like he's dropped?
He's definitely dropped.
He's dropped, deservedly so, but enough to fall out of the top 10? I don't know.
I don't think so. But I also don't think we can push Kristen out of the top 10 yet.
Okay.
She has been in less this month.
She has been in. She's had the crazy schedule. She goes, good schedule, bad schedule. She's had the bad schedule recently. And then she had some time off finally after the bad schedule. She's not sticking around here to come and hang out with us. She goes to Florida.
Yeah.
Which, I think it's
She'd rather be in hurricane-infested Florida than hanging out with us. I get that.
Yeah. So.
Actually, maybe, because she chose hurricane over us, so I guess we can kick her off.
No, I don't think we're there yet. I don't think she falls off the list, but maybe falls down a little further. I feel.
Yeah.
Nieters, Kyle Neely,
KK.
I was gonna say, what about Kathy Kuhl?
Kathy Kuhl.
You talk about bringing us joy. She's been very entertaining this month.
She has. Kathy Kuhl. She's gonna get spot number 6.
She has one of the best bumpers coming up for Bourbon Daily.
When
you guys will hear that for the first time, but it's amazing.
That was epic.
She got in trouble with her mother just to spend time with us.
Yeah.
She's supposed to pick up her 87-year-old mother and run some errands with her, and instead
prepare for a party.
Yes.
So yeah.
And instead hung out here
Yep.
And blew off her mom and got some pretty gotten timeout.
Yeah, gotten timeout. Okay. So we only have 4 spots left at this point. 4 spots is all we got. Boy, what are we thinking? I mean, let me run through some that I'll run through the entire list here. So Evan Nieters, Kristen Wall, The Hatches, Cop Brennan, Kyle Neely, Cop Chris, Dave Probst, Mike Steinkamp, Josh Dale, Cop Ken, James Kelly and Clint Lee, Tim Swyatt on the set, Mike Folk, and Nate Stelmach. Only 4 of those people get to go in. All right, let's talk about Cop Brennan. He's done the things he needs to do to get in the top 10, but he went and saw the Barbie movie rather than coming in and hanging out with us when we were drinking whiskey from 1830. We got to sample some whiskey from 1830 for an event.
Yeah.
I think that bumps him all the way out of the top 10.
I think you miss. You got to pay for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
had a great month up until that point, and he's going tonight starting today.
Yeah.
So
that's. He disappointed his father. So his father, obviously very proud, as a father should be of their son. But that night, there was hurt on his father's, to know that his son's out not drinking whiskey with his dad. He's out watching the Barbie movie.
Yeah, drinking some of the best whiskey he would ever have in his life.
Yeah.
To go see the Barbie movie.
Well, yeah, that Barbie movie, though, it's epic. So, yeah.
Well, he went and saw it by himself, too. That was weird.
Yeah, that made it real strange. So Cop Brennan, I'm sorry, that's gonna keep you out. So Cop Brennan is not gonna make the top 10 this month because of that.
Yeah. Okay, another one to talk about. What about Kyle Neely? He took a shot at Jim during one of our
does that keep him out? No reason.
So here's my honest answer to that is, I'm proud of him for it.
Really? Okay.
I'm proud of him for it.
Because it wasn't just the usual dad joke.
No, right. He had the balls to come at me head on in front of everybody. He knew the consequences, and he dared to do it. So I'm not angry with him at all.
Spent the rest of the night apologizing.
Oh, yeah. He'll pay for it at some point.
Because, he said someone was talking about a well-rounded body on a whiskey, and he put his hand up and said, "You mean like Jim Fosnot?"
Yes.
I mean, unprovoked. Jim wasn't picking on him that night or anything. It was just out of nowhere.
I'm usually the one who has his back. He said he was afraid to say it about Steve, so retaliation or whatever, but he's going to get retaliation. Okay. But I'm not angry about it. It was one of his better lines in the store. And,
okay. Well, I think he's had a good month. Does he still make it then?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Number 7? Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kyle Neely. Yeah.
Moving up one spot, Kyle.
Look at that. Didn't even ding him. He's good. So that's good to know.
I can appreciate the jab. I live to do those, so it's okay.
Absolutely. I think that here's what I want to do. We got 8, 9, and 10 left. I'd like to fill in number 10. Because they don't make it in that often, but it's way more effort than anybody else that's even on this list. James Kelly and Clint Lee.
Yep,
we have a great time, so we're going to give them number 10 because their effort to get here is much more than anybody else's. So we are going to put them on. They're going to make it, just barely. We'll see how they do, if they hang on to that for next month or not, but they're going to be on this month. They make it.
They travel all over the country doing remodels for a large retailer, and if they're anywhere within an hour and a half of us, they find a way to swing in and see us as they're doing their job, and they're always a good time. They've actually come to a barrel pick last month. They're fun there, so good call.
So here's who's left. We've only got 2 spots here. These are all worthy. Evan Nieters, he had a solid month. It's a little bit off of maybe what he did last month. If he makes the list, he will have dropped down.
He did bring a salsa.
He brought. That was the best salsa I ever had.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's going to play well. Let's not write anybody down yet. Let's go through all the potential candidates here. Kristen Wall, again, off versus previous months, enough to drop her off the list altogether. I don't know. I don't think so, but again, we got to see who goes on. Somebody who deserves to go on is not going to make it. We know that. So the Hatches, again, continue to come to a lot of the events. Good people. They check the list when they come in. So, it means something to them for sure.
They went to my first class.
Yeah, they were at your first class?
Sure, some people on this list already have been.
Yeah. Cop Chris, I'm going to say he didn't do enough to make the list.
I would agree.
Dave Probst, great guy, not enough. Keep trying, and you'll get there. Steinkamp, I'd like to keep Steinkamp in the list here. I'd like to keep Steinkamp alive. I'm going to eliminate some of them here. I'm going to eliminate the ones we just talked about, Probst and Cop Chris. They're going to be out because we're trying to whittle this down. But Steinkamp stays in, at least at this point. Josh Dale, hey, you cracked the top 20.
Yeah.
He didn't make the list. I'm going to eliminate him this month, but we'll see. He's on target for next month.
Yeah.
And he'll be okay with it.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be on the list.
He doesn't want to be on the list. Yeah. That's what's going to probably get him on the list. Yeah. Cop Ken, I feel like he's done what it makes to make the top 20. He's not a top 10 yet, but he has been coming in more, which is good. Swyatt coming in from Chicago. I think he's got to still be in the discussion. I don't know.
Had a nice barrel pick brought a bunch of friends down.
Yeah, that's got to play into it too.
He brought us a lot of new customers.
Yeah. He might make it one of these final two. Mike Folk, does he stay alive at this point?
I don't know. He's going up against some sluggers. He had a great month.
Yeah.
He was in here several times.
I don't know if it's top 10 though.
I don't know if he can hang with some of these other sluggers.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say he didn't make the top 10 this month. He's number 11, so yeah, he was close. Nate Stelmach, again, stepped up his game seemingly this month, but maybe he just stepped up his game enough to crack the top 20. But he's come to a lot of events and stuff like that. But knowing that we only have 2 spots left, I don't think he did enough to eliminate the other people that are left. So I think Nate is going to stop at making the top 20. So he's out. So that puts us down to 2 spots left. We got Swyatt, Steinkamp, the Hatches, Kristen Wall, and Evan Nieters. Who's got to go out of that group?
Who's going in or who we kicking out?
Who's going in or who's kicking out? Either way.
I would, I got a hard pull. I don't know if he should be, I think maybe he should be number 9 is Swyatt.
Yeah,
okay.
I do, first of all, it's good to have him here. He's a good guy. He did came in to teach a class for us here.
It's true.
And then he brought that group in to do a barrel pick. A lot of new customers.
It'd be bad to leave him off.
And then he was here the next week and sat here, and we just had a great conversation.
Yeah. So I think, and again, you're talking about someone who has to make an effort to get here.
Yeah.
Coming from Chicago. Yeah, he's got a kid here in college now, but that's a lot of traveling to come in and see us and all the family sightseeing. And he's like, I'll ditch you guys and go to the barrel shop.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So we're down to Nieters, Kristen Wall, the Hatches, and Steinkamp. Steinkamp, you had a good month. It's been a good run, but you come in at number 11. Which anybody who doesn't make the top 10, by the way, if you haven't noticed, they're number 11. So that's why everyone's number 11. All right, that leaves us 3 for 1 spot. Evan Nieters, Kristen Wall, and the Hatches. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy. They're all good people who love this place. We love them. Only one can go.
Who makes the final call? Who is going to upset the others? Because whoever makes this last pick.
I think it's got to be Darren. I think it sounds like a new guy job to me.
Yeah, me too. Seems like
so. Evan, I think, was out of town this month at the beginning of the month a little bit. He went to Florida.
Yeah.
And brought some stuff back, and it was good stuff. But I think that's going to knock him this month.
Okay.
I think that's how tough this competition is. You miss one day that you're supposed to be here, and so now it's between the Hatches and Kristen.
Yeah, these are both, and I say both counting the Hatches as one unit, 3 people, but all big fans of yours.
I know, right?
They're like Darren fans. so
which Darren fan are you kicking to the curb?
Yeah. So now
you have to disappoint somebody.
Yeah. Okay.
This is all on you, Darren.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with the Hatches.
Okay.
Because I had a conversation with Kristen this week thinking she didn't think she was going to make the top 10. She didn't think she did enough this month. And so that's self-reflection in mind.
She talked her way out of it. It's on her. You just blame Kristen Wall for
her own.
Sealing her own fate, apparently. So, yeah, there you go. Well, there it is. Here's our top 10. Clayton Seebacher, number 1. Congrats, Clayton. Spencer Rice, number 2. The Monicas, number 3. Bob Miramonte, 4. Evan Van Scoik, 5. Kathy Cool, 6. Kyle Neely, number 7. The Hatches, number 8. Tim Swyatt, number 9. James Kelly and Clint Lee, number 10.
That is a hard-hitting list there.
That is a great list. I do love it. I feel bad for the folks that didn't make it, but again, there's always next month. That's the fun of what we do here. We'll wrap this one up, as we always do, by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures. Also, apparently kicking people off the top 10 list like it's my job.
Yes. Yeah. Before we started, you wanted to kick off Kyle Neely out of the top 20.
I like to say Kyle Neely's name whenever I can, just because I didn't really want to kick him off, but
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
Change
sure. Oh, you're the victim. You're the
Yeah.
victim. All right, Jim, how about you? Where can people find you?
Can find me on Facebook at Jim Fozlin, on Instagram at FozJim, or most days hanging out here at the ABV Barrel Shop in Arnold, Missouri.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, ABV Barrel Shop. You can sit at the tasting bar. Maybe we'll be podcasting. You never know. Check us out online. See what events we've got going on and so much more, abvbarrelshop.com. Of course, give us a 5-star review. It helps new people find the show, which is pretty darn important to us. We always like when people do that. And hey, if you want to get involved, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. Well, that's it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Cheers.
bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small, experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you are in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.